If your periods have become irregular, painful, heavy, unpredictable, or emotionally overwhelming, your body is not malfunctioning, your hormones are sending you a message. Period problems are one of the earliest and clearest signs that something in your hormonal system needs support. But most women are taught to ignore these signals or assume they're normal, when in reality, every cycle change reflects what estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, insulin, and your thyroid are doing behind the scenes. Your period is a monthly report card for your entire endocrine system. When it changes, your hormones have already changed. In this video, we'll decode what your period symptoms really mean, from irregular cycles and heavy bleeding to PMS, bloating, cravings, mood swings, acne, fatigue, and missing periods. Each symptom reveals something specific about your hormonal pattern, and once you understand the message, you can support your body far more effectively. Irregular cycles, when your period doesn't follow the calendar. If your period comes early, 1 month, late the next, or disappears without warning, your body is not being unpredictable, it's being honest. Irregular cycles are one of the first signs that your hormones need attention, yet they're also the symptom most women ignore or brush off as stress or bad timing. But cycles don't randomly shift. Hormones shift first, your period just reports it. A healthy cycle typically ranges from 24 to 35 days and stays fairly steady. When your cycle suddenly shortens, lengthens, or becomes inconsistent, that's your endocrine system signaling that something is disrupting ovulation, progesterone production, or estrogen balance. Why cycles become irregular? Irregular cycles usually come from disruptions in one of these hormone groups. 1. Low progesterone, the most common cause. Progesterone rises only after ovulation. If you don't ovulate regularly or your ovulation is weak, your progesterone stays low. This leads to cycles under 24 days, spotting before your period, strong PMS, anxiety or restlessness, difficulty sleeping, stress, overexercising, undereating, and poor sleep all weaken ovulation and lower progesterone. 2. Estrogen imbalance. Estrogen drives the first half of your cycle. When it becomes too high, too low, or too unstable, you may experience long cycles, heavy periods, breast tenderness, headaches, mood swings. Estrogen imbalance is extremely common in young and adult women and is often linked to stress, gut issues, or insulin resistance. 3. Thyroid issues. Your thyroid is the timekeeper of your menstrual cycle. Even mild thyroid shifts can lead to long cycles, skipped periods, fatigue, brain fog, hair shedding. Many women live with thyroid-related cycle changes for years without knowing. 4. Stress and cortisol changes. Stress doesn't just affect your mind, it affects ovulation. High cortisol delays or suppresses ovulation, causing late periods, irregular timing, unexpected spotting. Even good stress, exams, deadlines, new job, travel can throw your cycle off. 5. Early PCOS signs. Irregular cycles are often the first sign of PCOS, even before acne or weight changes appear. You may have cycles over 35 to 40 days, unpredictable periods, chin/jawline acne, strong cravings, mood shifts. You do not need ovarian cysts to have PCOS. Irregular ovulation is enough. What's normal versus what needs attention? Normal. Period varies by 2 to 5 days occasionally. Cycle changes during illness or major stress. Slight irregularity for teens or postpartum. Needs attention. Cycles under 24 or over 35 days. Periods that disappear for 2+ months. Sudden cycle changes without clear reason. Cycle length varies by more than 7 to 10 days consistently. Spotting between periods. How to support regular cycles. 1. Eat enough, especially protein. Low caloric intake disrupts ovulation quickly. 2. Stabilize your blood sugar. Balanced meals reduce estrogen fluctuations and insulin-related delays. 3. Manage stress daily. 5 minutes of slow breathing or stretching helps regulate cortisol. 4. Prioritize good sleep. Hormones reset at night. Poor sleep disrupts ovulation. 5. Avoid excessive high-intensity workouts. Too much HIIT raises cortisol and delays ovulation. Irregular cycles are not inconveniences, they are hormonal messages. When your period shifts, it's revealing changes in progesterone, estrogen, cortisol, the thyroid, or insulin. Understanding these patterns helps you respond early, restore balance, and prevent deeper issues later. Heavy or painful periods. When estrogen takes the lead. If your periods are suddenly heavier, more painful, or lasting longer than they used to, your body isn't just changing. Heavy flow and intense cramps are two of the clearest signs that estrogen is taking the lead and progesterone isn't balancing it the way it should. Your uterus responds directly to your hormone levels. When the balance shifts, your symptoms do too. Many women assume heavy periods or strong cramps are normal, but they are meaningful hormonal messages. They reveal what's happening with estrogen, inflammation, blood sugar, stress, and your entire monthly cycle. Why heavy or painful periods happen. Most heavy or painful periods come from estrogen dominance or low progesterone, the two sides of the same imbalance. 1. Estrogen dominance. Estrogen too high or too strong. Estrogen builds the uterine lining. If estrogen is higher than your body needs, you build more lining, heavier bleeding. Signs estrogen dominance is at play. Heavy flow that needs frequent pad or tampon changes. Clots larger than a dime. Intense PMS. Bloating or breast tenderness. Mood swings. Headaches before your period. Too much estrogen also increases prostaglandins, chemicals that trigger uterine contractions. More cramps. Common causes: stress, poor liver detoxification, blood sugar swings, lack of fiber. Gut imbalance, exposure to hormone disruptors. 2. Low progesterone, not enough to balance estrogen. Progesterone is anti-inflammatory and stabilizing. When it's low, the uterus contracts more strongly, painful cramps. Low progesterone also causes spotting, short cycles, anxiety, trouble sleeping, heightened emotions before periods. Progesterone becomes low when ovulation is weak or inconsistent. 3. Inflammation makes pain worse. Inflammation from stress, sugar, poor sleep, or certain foods intensifies prostaglandins. Higher prostaglandins equals stronger cramps plus heavier flow. If your cramps worsen when you're stressed or eating more processed foods, inflammation is part of the picture. 4. Thyroid issues can increase flow. An underactive thyroid can make periods heavier because it slows hormone metabolism. Look for fatigue, hair thinning, feeling cold, weight changes. Even mild thyroid shifts can affect bleeding patterns. What heavy or painful periods are telling you. Your body might be signaling one or more of these. Estrogen is too high. Progesterone is too low. Ovulation is inconsistent. Stress is raising inflammation. Blood sugar isn't stable. Thyroid hormones are shifting. Your symptoms point directly to the imbalance. How to support more comfortable, balanced periods. 1. Add fiber-rich foods daily. helps clear excess estrogen. 2. Support your liver. Leafy greens, berries, citrus, and water help metabolize estrogen effectively. 3. Stabilize blood sugar. Balanced meals reduce estrogen spikes and inflammation. 4. Reduce high sugar and processed foods. They raise prostaglandins and worsen cramps. 5. Manage stress intentionally. Stress increases inflammation and prostaglandins. 6. Use gentle movement, walking, stretching. Helps reduce cramps and promote hormone balance. 7. Add omega-3 rich foods. Salmon, chia seeds, flaxseed, all reduce inflammation. Heavy or painful periods are not normal for you. They're strong hormonal clues, usually pointing toward high estrogen, low progesterone, inflammation, or thyroid shifts. When you understand what your symptoms mean, you can take simple steps to calm your cycle, reduce pain, and restore balance month after month. Missing or very light periods. When your body isn't ovulating. A missing period might feel convenient, but hormonally, it's one of the loudest warning signs your body sends. Very light periods, long cycles, or skipped periods are not easy cycles. They are clear signals that you're not ovulating regularly. And when ovulation stops, your entire hormonal system shifts with it. Most people think periods equal ovulation, but this isn't always true. You can have a bleed without ovulating, and you can skip ovulation without realizing why your mood, skin, energy, and cravings suddenly change. Ovulation is not just about fertility, it's about your foundational hormone balance. Why periods become missing or very light. Missing or light periods almost always point to disruptions in progesterone, estrogen, insulin, cortisol, or thyroid hormones. 1. Stress and cortisol. Suppress ovulation. High stress doesn't just affect mood, it affects the brain-ovary connection. When cortisol stays high, the brain delays or stops ovulation. This leads to long cycles, missing periods, spotting, emotional instability, trouble sleeping, increased anxiety. Even positive stress, exams, travel, new job, can stop ovulation temporarily. 2. Low progesterone, because ovulation didn't happen. Progesterone is only produced after ovulation. No ovulation equals no progesterone. Low progesterone causes very light or short periods, brown spotting, periods that don't feel like real cycles, insomnia, PMS like symptoms without actual bleeding. Your body is signaling that it didn't complete the hormonal sequence. 3. Insulin resistance disrupts ovulation. When insulin is high, common in teens and young adults, follicles don't mature properly. Ovulation becomes inconsistent. Cycles stretch longer. Bleeding becomes lighter or disappears. This is often an early sign of PCOS, even before acne or weight changes appear. 4. Low body weight or undereating. Eating too little or exercising too hard signals your brain that the environment isn't safe for reproduction. This leads to hypothalamic amenorrhea, where periods stop due to calorie restriction, intense exercise, skipping meals, stress plus undereating combined. This is common in young women who look healthy but aren't eating enough to support hormonal function. 5. Thyroid imbalance. Thyroid hormones regulate your entire cycle. Low thyroid causes missed periods, light bleeding, long cycles, fatigue, hair loss, feeling cold. Even mild thyroid shifts can affect ovulation. How to tell if you're not ovulating. Signs of anovulation include cycles over 35 days, very light bleeding, periods that disappear for 2+ months, little or no cervical mucus, low libido, PMS lasting longer than usual. Unpredictable mood swings. Your body leaves clues long before it stops bleeding. How to support regular ovulation. 1. Eat enough calories, especially protein and healthy fats. Your brain needs fuel to trigger ovulation. 2. Stop skipping meals. Blood sugar crashes stress your ovaries. 3. Reduce high-intensity workouts. Too much HIIT elevates cortisol and suppresses ovulation. 4. Manage stress intentionally. Slow breathing, journaling, nature, or short breaks help reset cortisol. 5. Prioritize sleep. Poor sleep disrupts the brain-ovary communication. 6. Add gentle daily movement. Walking and strength training support insulin and cycle rhythm. 7. Check thyroid symptoms if cycles remain absent. The thyroid and ovaries work as a team. Missing or very light periods are not easy cycles. They are hormonal messages that ovulation isn't happening. Without ovulation, progesterone stays low, hormones become unbalanced, and symptoms worsen over time. When you identify the cause, stress, insulin, undereating, thyroid shifts, you can support your body and help your cycle return to a healthy, predictable rhythm. PMS, mood swings, and anxiety. When hormones affect your brain chemistry. If you feel like a different person the week before your period, more emotional, more anxious, more irritable, or more overwhelmed, it's not just PMS. Your hormones directly affect your brain chemistry, and when that balance shifts, your emotions follow. PMS is not a personality flaw. It's a hormonal message telling you how well estrogen, progesterone, insulin, and cortisol are working together. For many women, emotional symptoms appear before major physical symptoms. Your mood is often the first place hormonal imbalance shows up. Why PMS and mood swings happen. Your brain depends on hormonal rhythm. When that rhythm becomes irregular, your emotional stability becomes irregular too. 1. Low progesterone equals less calm, more stress sensitivity. Progesterone activates GABA receptors in your brain, the same calming pathways targeted by anti-anxiety medications. Low progesterone leads to heightened anxiety, irritability, feeling on edge, trouble falling asleep, emotional sensitivity, difficulty relaxing. Progesterone drops are the biggest driver of emotional PMS. 2. Estrogen fluctuations equals mood highs and lows. Estrogen influences serotonin and dopamine, the feel-good chemicals. When estrogen swings too quickly, high to low, you may experience sudden sadness, crying easily, emotional overwhelm, anger or irritability, headaches, low motivation. These emotional changes often start 5 to 10 days before your period. 3. High cortisol, stress hormone, intensifies PMS. Stress doesn't just make PMS worse, it creates PMS in women who otherwise don't have emotional symptoms. High cortisol drains serotonin, lowers progesterone, disrupts sleep, increases cravings, magnifies irritability, heightens emotional reactivity. This is why PMS is often worse during stressful months. 4. Blood sugar swings drive mood instability. When insulin is unstable, your brain experiences rapid mood shifts. Blood sugar crashes can cause sudden anxiety, shakiness, irritability, brain fog, intense cravings. Many emotional PMS symptoms come from blood sugar imbalance, not just hormones. 5. Thyroid imbalance can mimic PMS. Low thyroid can cause fatigue, low mood, mood swings, anxiety. These symptoms intensify during PMS when hormones fluctuate naturally. Common emotional symptoms that are actually hormonal. You may be experiencing hormonal mood symptoms if you notice anxiety that peaks before your period, irritability without clear reason, crying more easily, feeling overwhelmed with small tasks, mood changes after high-sugar foods, brain fog during PMS week, difficulty sleeping right before your period. These are hormonal clues, not emotional weaknesses. How to support hormone-healthy mood. Throughout your cycle. 1. Stabilize your blood sugar. Protein plus fiber plus healthy fats reduce emotional crashes. 2. Prioritize sleep the week before your period. You're naturally more sensitive to stress. 3. Reduce caffeine and sugar in PMS week. Both intensify mood swings. 4. Add magnesium-rich foods. Magnesium supports relaxation and reduces PMS anxiety. 5. Use calming evening routines. Dim lighting, warm shower, breathing, stretching. These lower cortisol fast. 6. Keep meals regular. Skipping meals worsens mood symptoms dramatically. 7. Manage stress daily. Even 5 minutes of slow breathing can prevent cortisol spikes. PMS, mood swings, and anxiety are powerful hormonal messages, not character flaws. When estrogen spikes, progesterone drops, cortisol rises, or blood sugar becomes unstable, your brain feels it immediately. By supporting your hormones with sleep, steady meals, stress reduction, and balanced routines, you can experience calmer cycles and a much more stable emotional life. Bloating, cravings, and fatigue. When insulin and cortisol hijack your cycle. If you bloat easily, crave sugar before your period, or feel exhausted during certain weeks of your cycle, your body isn't being unpredictable. It's revealing a hormone metabolism connection most women never learn about. Bloating, cravings, and fatigue are not random PMS symptoms. They are metabolic messages from insulin and cortisol, the two hormones that quietly shape your period long before bleeding begins. These symptoms often appear before any major cycle changes, which makes them some of the earliest warning signs that your hormones need support. Why bloating, cravings, and fatigue happen around your cycle? Two hormones play the biggest roles: insulin, your blood sugar regulator, and cortisol, your stress hormone. 1. Blood sugar swings, cravings, hunger, and energy crashes. When insulin isn't stable, your energy and cravings become unstable too. During your cycle, especially the week before your period, your body becomes more sensitive to blood sugar changes. When blood sugar spikes and falls quickly, you may feel intense sugar or carb cravings, irritability before meals, shakiness or anxiety, afternoon energy crashes, strong emotional hunger, difficulty focusing. These aren't willpower issues, they're hormonal signals that insulin needs more stability. 2. Estrogen and progesterone increase hunger and cravings. After ovulation, progesterone increases your body's need for calories. When you don't meet those needs, cravings intensify because your brain is trying to correct the energy shortage. Blood sugar drops faster. Cortisol rises to compensate. This creates pre-period cravings that can feel impossible to control. 3. Cortisol raises blood sugar and worsens. Bloating. When cortisol rises from stress, poor sleep, overthinking, or skipping meals, it pushes glucose into the bloodstream, even if you haven't eaten anything. This leads to bloating, cravings, belly heaviness, fatigue, digestive discomfort. Cortisol also slows digestion, causing food to sit longer in the gut, which worsens bloating during PMS. 4. Progesterone slows digestion. Progesterone relaxes the digestive muscles, meaning food moves more slowly. This creates gas, bloating, constipation, belly discomfort. These symptoms typically peak during week 3 to 4 of your cycle. 5. Estrogen fluctuations affect fluid retention. When estrogen rises suddenly, your body holds onto more water. This leads to swollen abdomen, puffiness in hands or face, heaviness before your period. Women with unstable estrogen often notice more month-to-month variation. What these symptoms are telling you: your body may be signaling unstable blood sugar, high cortisol, inflammation, not enough protein or fiber. Stress overload, irregular ovulation. Your metabolic symptoms reflect your hormonal environment. How to reduce bloating, cravings, and fatigue. 1. Build balanced meals, protein plus fiber plus healthy fat. This reduces cravings and blood sugar swings dramatically. 2. Don't skip meals or go long hours without eating. Blood sugar crashes worsen cravings and fatigue. 3. Reduce sugar and refined carbs, especially during PMS week. Prevents insulin spikes that worsen symptoms. 4. Add magnesium-rich foods. Magnesium supports digestion, lowers cravings, and improves energy. 5. Stay hydrated and reduce salty processed foods. Helps minimize fluid retention. 6. Use gentle movement, walking, and stretching. Improves digestion and reduces bloating. 7. Prioritize sleep. Even one poor night increases cortisol and cravings the next day. Bloating, cravings, and fatigue are not typical period problems. They're powerful metabolic clues. When insulin and cortisol become unstable, your energy, digestion, and appetite shift immediately. By stabilizing blood sugar, managing stress, and supporting digestion, you'll experience smoother cycles, fewer cravings, and more consistent energy all month long. Headaches, acne, and breast tenderness. Early signs. Your hormones need support. If you notice headaches before your period, breakouts along your chin or jawline, or breast tenderness that seems to appear out of nowhere, your body is not being dramatic, it's being precise. These subtle symptoms show up before major period problems, making them some of the earliest and most reliable clues that your hormones are shifting out of balance. Your skin, breasts, and head are surprisingly sensitive hormone indicators. These symptoms often appear when estrogen, progesterone, and androgens become misaligned long before your cycle becomes irregular. Why these symptoms happen. Headaches, acne, and breast tenderness reveal how well your estrogen, progesterone, and androgen levels are syncing throughout the month. 1. Estrogen spikes, headaches, and breast tenderness. Estrogen rises sharply in the first half of your cycle and again before your period. When estrogen becomes too high or fluctuates too fast, you may feel headaches or migraines, breast soreness or heaviness, water retention, irritability, mood swings. Estrogen affects blood vessels and breast tissue, so even small shifts create noticeable symptoms. Common triggers: high stress, poor sleep, blood sugar swings, gut imbalance, inadequate fiber. Estrogen isn't cleared well. 2. Low progesterone, more pain and emotional sensitivity. Progesterone calms breast tissue, stabilizes mood, and counters estrogen's effects. When progesterone is low, estrogen becomes louder. This leads to breast tenderness, headaches before your period, irritability, trouble sleeping, heightened emotional reactions. Low progesterone usually happens because ovulation wasn't strong or didn't occur at all. 3. High androgens, chin jawline, acne, and oily skin. If your breakouts cluster on your chin, jawline, or around your mouth, that's a hormonal pattern, not a skincare problem. High androgens cause jawline acne, cystic breakouts, oily skin, clogged pores, acne that gets worse before your period. Androgens rise when insulin is unstable. Stress increases DHEAS. Progesterone is low. Ovulation is inconsistent. These are early PCOS indicators for many young women. 4. Cortisol, stress, intensifies all three symptoms. Stress doesn't cause one symptom, it amplifies all of them. High cortisol triggers headaches, increases inflammation, worsening acne, causes breast tenderness through estrogen imbalance, disrupts sleep, making symptoms worse. If your symptoms flare during stressful weeks, cortisol is involved. What these symptoms are really telling you: your body might be signaling estrogen dominance, low progesterone, high androgens, unstable blood sugar, inflammation, high cortisol, weak ovulation. These early signs often appear months or years before major cycle changes. How to support balanced hormones and reduce these symptoms. 1. Increase fiber in your diet. Fiber helps the body clear excess estrogen naturally. 2. Stabilize blood sugar, protein plus fiber plus healthy fat at meals. Prevents androgen-driven acne. 3. Add anti-inflammatory foods. Berries, leafy greens, turmeric, and omega-3s calm hormonal inflammation. 4. Reduce stress intentionally. Headaches and acne both worsen with cortisol spikes. 5. Support progesterone by supporting ovulation. Eat enough calories, avoid extreme dieting, and sleep 7 to 9 hours. 6. Hydrate consistently. Dehydration worsens headaches and fluid retention. 7. Limit high-sugar foods during PMS week. This reduces acne flare-ups and breast tenderness. Headaches, acne, and breast tenderness are early hormone signals, not random nuisances. They show when estrogen is too strong, progesterone is too low, or androgens are rising. With small daily changes that support ovulation, stabilize insulin, and reduce stress, these symptoms often improve quickly. Your body is communicating clearly, and once you understand the message, you can respond with confidence and support. Conclusion. Your period is not just a monthly event. It's a powerful report card that reveals exactly how your hormones are functioning. Irregular cycles, heavy flow, cravings, acne, mood swings, headaches, or missing periods aren't random problems. They're signals that estrogen, progesterone, insulin, cortisol, or your thyroid needs support. The good news is that your body is always communicating, and once you understand what these patterns mean, you can take small daily steps that make a big difference. Your hormones are not fighting you, they're guiding you. With balanced meals, better sleep, stress awareness, and gentle routine shifts, your cycle can become more predictable, calmer, and more aligned with your well-being. Disclaimer: this video is educational only and not medical advice. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching.